Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to TCG University. It is your lovely host sitting behind the camera, Noah, here with Travis.
Travis TNT Tangeman. Welcome back, everybody.
What's good, homies? That's back at it again.
Hey, it's Byron.
It's Byron.
Byron's feeling a little under the weather. He's been sucking too much.
That's all right. I'll be your bright sunshine.
Don't tell my dirty business out like that, all right?
It's fine. We all know.
Noah, stop.
Fine.
They don't know
fine.
it's you.
Shit, they're on to me. Going through, we're going to go ahead and thank our supporters. We've got Chris Bromley, Jesse Nix, Haunted Castle Gaming Inc., Sean O'Brien, Timothy Friedlieb, Jacob Arshin Mashure, Kevin Broberg, Josh Hillers, and Jay Rogers. Thank you guys for subbing to us. That's the term for Patreon?
Yes.
Yeah, subbing to us on Patreon. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook, sub to us on YouTube, enroll at Patreon, and then you can watch us on Twitch maybe one of these days again. I don't know. We'll bait Travis into it. We're also available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify. Please go ahead, listen to us, watch us. Don't watch us while driving. That's dangerous. I definitely don't do that. Moving on, Travis, I'm sure you have your plug.
Oh, yeah. So,
No, forget it.
You guys
forgot.
You guys can also watch me on YouTube at youtube.com/ohmrmatsu. Check me out on Twitch at the same link. I post My Hero content and TFT content and a bunch of other random stuff. I really appreciate it. And also, obviously, check out TCGU first, then me after.
Get to the 1,000.
Get to the 1,000.
Get us to the 1,000. We got to get
We're
that
at, like,
YouTube ad
960
revenue.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
We fluctuate a lot.
Hey. Going to our main big topic of the night. Me and James talked about it on the BuddyCast earlier, but we have our banned/limited list that just came out for, I guess we're going into Opus.
Yep. Crystal
615.
Dominion, also
Yeah.
known as Opus 15 for the Ne'er-do-wells. Not the king, the prince. The prince is dead. Stern Leonis has been added to the standard L6 ban list. On top of the fact, his little crony and disciple, Mione, in Chocobo's list. She's also been unfortunately put out. And finally, on top of that, we have the man in the cape himself, Doga, also been put on the ban list.
Travis. he just, you can see him molding over there.
It's a renaissance. Like,
We're out of the Dark Ages.
I sat here and I'm like, please, Squeenix, please, I need you to ban this
Squeenix,
dumbass
please.
card. I hate this deck so much. And then they did.
Hold on, hold on.
My prayers.
Where is this? I've got, wait, I didn't realize Sophie's also limited to one. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Doga's
she's
actually dead. Sophie decks are dead crab rave.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. This is such a huge breath of fresh air for this game. I don't have to die on turn 3 when I'm trying to play a slower control deck because I wiped my opponent's board and then they built the same board next turn with minimal resources.
And the other part about it also is now the aggro matchups aren't just straight knife fights, right?
Yes.
It literally
Oh my
doesn't
God.
come down to which one of you actually managed to get it off first.
Yeah.
If it was you, you're the one that wins. If it was you, then you're the one that clearly wins. Personally, I like the fact that they restricted Sophie to 1 because if they completely ban Sophie, Monks dies. Like straight up,
yeah,
like
for sure.
straight up, Monks just as an archetype fails because while the deck's an amazing mid-range deck, it struggles to actually have like a kill con necessarily. Sure, you can have a 9k Ursula like beat the snot out of them to death, but she requires resources to do that. Whereas if she's able to recur the thing that's gonna kill them over and over and over again, then the deck at least still has a kill con. By allowing them to have one, then they're at least still able to have a deck.
So I don't know if Noah, you and James, I kind of listened to your buddy cast, but didn't listen to all of it.
Obviously.
Did you guys like talk about like how Sophie, like she is like there's a lot of stuff that you're able to use to remove her from the game.
Yeah. So I don't think we actually touched on that too much. I was rewatching it. I was going through stuff like Kadaj can target her, things like Susanoo. The issue I had come up with is that even though she's limited to a 1-of, Ursula can still just go, hey, fuck it, I'll pop my Sophie, and then I'll just res her back. I think the issue is still having too many ways to bring her back after you find her.
But I think there's just enough ways to actually get rid of her too, though.
Well, yeah,
And it doesn't matter when she goes to damage, baby.
Yeah,
That
like,
too.
if you get lucky and you just spike her off,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Deck's
God.
dead.
Yeah.
But that's the issue I found out is that Ursula because that's how Ursula gets around things like that.
But
she just pops
consider-
her own shit.
But consider the steps that are required for you to finally get to that Sophie now, right?
Yeah.
You
For sure.
You actively have to search for the singleton Sophie in your deck. That either means Mott, that
Sildra.
means Sildra, or Merlub, or any other instance of you using your water searcher to find Sophie. That means you're not finding Sarah Mobius, means you're not finding Doga, because Doga's gone.
Yeah.
Like, you're actively having to put effort into getting Sophie out. And then from that point, if you're able to keep recurring her, congratulations. You've actually done what the deck was originally intended to do without it being completely brain dead.
Yeah. You also don't get to play like 30 plus summons with no opportunity cost because, oh, I drew too many summons. I guess I'll ditch 3 to this cool forward and draw the 3 again.
And then still have fuel for
yeah.
Moshery.
Yeah,
you
so
have to-
now my hand's fixed? Okay, sure. I guess.
And that's the other cool thing too, right? Is that they banned Stern, but they're watching Moshery,
Yeah.
right?
It's definitely a very strong card. I'm glad they're watching it.
They should be.
Yeah, they're for sure.
Absolutely.
But because so YYT, I love plugging their content. So
Obviously.
he put out a
They're solid.
They
he,
are.
he put out a video about Doga, 3-color X-Death, and Chocobos, and he put out 3 cards. And I'm gonna see if you guys can solve it right here. The 3 cards are Brynhildr, Leviathan, and Gipple. What are the 3 things that these cards have in common
Are we talking about
in regards to Stern and Moshery?
Brynhildr as in
The 3
not
cost
the new one.
7K.
Okay. Leviathan is which one?
The 3 cost Leviathan that bounces a forward.
Okay.
And then Gipple that gives all your guys 4K. What are the commonalities with them, Stern, and Moshery?
They're just Moshery and Stern are those all together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
That's
have
the
it.
issue.
So think about
not
it.
one
You
card,
spend
it's 3 cards.
you spend resources to play Brynhildr. You spend resources to play Leviathan. You spend resources to play Gipple. Here you have 2 forwards that do all those options for your break zone.
Yeah.
You're using
for a
your break-
resource
yeah.
you've already used.
Your
Yeah.
break zone is now backups.
Yep.
Is basically what it ended up coming down to, and that's the problematic nature of the cards, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they did the Yu-Gi-Oh like hard once per turn thing,
Oh yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
You don't just get to sit there and you responded to my Moshery. I guess I'll go remove 3, respond. Oh, you responded again. We'll keep doing this
Remove
until
three.
you're out
Yeah,
of
and-
responses.
and
It's
here's-
whoever can't do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it also comes down to Stax Interactions, right? When your opponent does a thing, and this even comes from my experience in competitive EDH, is that being able to draw a card and then choose to respond after you've drawn your card is
Correct.
incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So being able to say, hey, I'm going to draw a card of Moshery, your thing still hasn't been responded to, I will now choose to draw a card. I'm now going to make my next summon cost 6 less. Here's my 1 cost Leviathan. Put your Stern at the bottom of the deck. I get back Elena so I can raise back Ursula Sophie next turn. And I completely blew out your turn.
Yep.
It's a wrap.
I don't want them to use erratas though.
Oh, yeah, because then you have
I-
to explain it.
Exactly, and
Well,
and it's more like it's a thing about being new player friendly.
Exactly.
Erratas are not new player friendly.
Exactly, they're not, because then you
Dragon
have to
Ball-
search for them.
For instance, Dragon Ball learned that pretty well. There's a bunch of cards that are errated. Some of them just for like text clarification and shit. And it took probably a good year and a half before they were just like, hey, maybe we should reprint these cards with the new erratas.
My
I'm like-
favorite's the Kageyama Twitter deep lore. For you to actually figure out rules interactions.
Yeah.
It's the best. There's no comprehensive rule book. You have to go into the ether.
Yeah.
You have to dig really deep.
No.
Yeah.
Which like, I think the only way you do an errata is to avoid a hard ban on a card that shouldn't be banned.
Yeah.
Well, because
Because like I don't think Doga needed to be banned as much as they just needed to fix Sophie itself.
see, Doga's unhealthy.
Doga's designed
'Cause
inherently.
th-
is
like-
like-
But in terms of the way the deck function, I agree with James. I think the deck just sits on its fucking hands and lets Sophie deal with you. You have to deal with Sophie, and then it brings
Well,
back
but
Sophie.
here's the problem, Noah, is that when you run Doga, you're basically saying that 9 cards in your deck do not exist. And then the 3 Dogas in and of themselves also do not exist. You're essentially playing with a 38 card deck. And if I've learned anything from modern Magic, back in the days of Gitaxian Probe and Gut Shot and all those other free cards that generated you advantage off of a life source, you're essentially playing a deck that's lower in card count than what normal people would be doing.
See, that makes a lot of sense to me because it's just like Yu-Gi-Oh with like Upstart Goblin.
Oh God, the Upstart
It's like
Goblin effect.
you
it's
lose
so
1,000.
insane.
That 1,000 doesn't matter when you're gonna kill your opponent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're deleting them from whatever life
Or-
total they're at anyways.
Yeah.
Or you
you're
build the
telling them they
Unbreakable
can't-
Ward.
Yeah, or you're telling them they can't play the game with an unbreakable ward.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it comes to situations where where we had it before. It's like, do you have a Mataratsu? It's just like in
Is Alma actually going to start popping back up again?
yep, or it comes down to
Perhaps.
what was that?
What?
Alma popping back up.
It's been $10.
Yeah.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
And
let's
I'm
go.
really glad I got my copies at $1 when
Play
they were
sitting on them
$1.
foils too.
Yeah,
Hey.
we have so many of them.
I wish I would have bought the full arts when they were like $25. Like when they first came out, they were pretty cheap.
Yeah, they're probably what, 40, 50 now.
Oh, they're like almost 100. I'm pretty sure.
That's insane.
Yep.
Zeth made a good point about Ama, and then get back on track. Is that at the time Ama was only a card that really seemed to be used when you're already ahead. But hopefully.
Now it's to keep you in the game.
Yeah.
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 That should be the point of Amaterasu, is to keep you in the game and give you that leg to like get yourself back
It's a
up.
breaker.
Yeah.
I hope that it stays that way, or else that card also probably that card I think should constantly be looked at on occasion, just because the ability to be like, while I'm winning, I can just like actually completely win now, and my opponent can't do anything about it, no matter how good they've been playing.
No.
So you want them to have like Amaterasu on the watch list?
I wouldn't say so much the watch, because like I feel like if you put something on the watch list, like it's constantly being monitored. I just think like every Opus Amaterasu needs to be looked at
But
after
I
about
don't
like
know.
the halfway point of the format.
I think having a card such as Amaterasu is healthy for the format.
Well, yeah, you
in
actually have
any
a response.
format. Yeah.
It's interaction.
Yeah.
Interaction's always good. Like, the only time interaction becomes a problem is that when you have interaction in a deck that is such a proactive game plan. Like, if Amaterasu was in water, when we still had Doga, then it would be entirely problematic.
Well, yeah, Doga sits there, doesn't do anything, and sits on its ass and builds a wall. And then every time you try to climb the wall, or even like get near the wall, Amit says no.
Yeah.
You still have to push through that
Although,
and then push through the wall.
The 4th place deck at Haunted Hotel, they played the 3-cost legendary Garnet from Opus 4, so they could pay 2 water CP to play a Mataratsu from their hand.
God.
It was so raw. It's like, because...
My God.
I mean, it works.
Well, it covered a main weakness of the deck against Toto, because if you like went to Toto or you went to Susano against, because Susano gets one carded by a Mataratsu, and that's a big problem for that card, especially when you already have to lose a backup to do it. Trying to climb back from that is very, very difficult to next to impossible.
Literally, that's my only problem with Amaterasu is the card's better counterspell, and the fact that oftentimes it ends up becoming a like 2 or 3 for 1 instead of what it should be, which is a 1 for 1, because most of the autos you're canceling with it are resurrecting something, drawing cards, finding a card.
It's costly shit that your opponent can't
Correct.
afford if it's fucked up.
Yep.
Correct. That's my only problem with the card, and that's why I slightly agree with Noah.
So here's a good one. We could talk about Stern and Doga all day. Let's talk about the ramifications of Mione, because the justification they provided for the news was that with the card pool getting as good as it's gotten, and the card quality is only going to look to get better over time, Mione is just too good of a card to keep in the format, because with our ETBs getting as they are, and Mione saying, hey, go do it again.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Fiona's wins version of fucking Renoa. There we go.
yeah, and here's the
It's
other
a
thing.
backup.
Here's
That
the fun
draws you a
thing
card.
is that infinite loop deck. It's a lot harder now to play
yeah.
that deck
Yeah.
because Mione was one of the main facilitators in that deck. So that in and of itself is another one of those decks that's actually going to struggle because they do not have just a free backup that lets them do the thing that they're going to be doing.
At first I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but then you talking about how it essentially helps infinites,
Oh, absolutely.
like that just that reason is gonna make that card being banned is gonna make the format healthier.
Yeah.
Because I mean, infinites just suck to play against. Like
Usually they do.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a hard. At least the wind infinite it's a little
Yeah, because
mental math to get through to actually get it to work. But once it does, it's
And
fine.
what also sucks is like you have to sit there and explain it to your opponent
Every
because
time.
the Shikari loop isn't like as much as it's talked about, like in the competitive
It's not
circuit,
used.
for a local, unless it's played actively at your locals, no one's gonna get it. So you have to spend 8 minutes of your tournament time explaining the loop, and even then you have to have the judge right there with you to just explain. It's not because people don't get it. It's just that per the comprehensive rules, it's a lot of loops that you're showing, and it's a lot of autos that, unless your opponent has a Moderatsu, that there's not really a whole lot you're gonna be able to go with.
I would just offer a handshake at that point. Like, good game, man.
Yeah, Mione.
I'm not gonna explain it. Good game.
So Mione was also a necessary evil ban because of the fact that if we're going to hit cards from this very powerful deck that's sitting at the top of the meta, we also have to hit stuff that from the decks that are sitting below it, right?
Yeah, because then they're the top.
Yes, because Ice Wind Storm or Storm variants, we're all abusing for the most part Mione.
Yeah. There's no reason not to.
And so
It was
we
Mione
have
and Chocobo.
Yes, we have to hit something from those archetypes, or they are just going to replace this already
it's the
oppressive
new
deck.
Apex Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be able to, if you knock the top off, you have to be able to knock the bottom, the ones directly below it as well, son.
Yeah.
I think James made a good point in saying that Mione is a more proactive card than reactive card.
Oh, absolutely.
Mione just fucking excels your gameplay.
Althea is the reactive card.
Althea is
Yeah.
mega reactive.
And even then, you could still play loop with Althea. It just takes you a turn to actually be able to start pulling the infinite. Because you still have the white mages to activate all your backups.
Even then, Althea, I mentioned this, Mione draws you a card and shortens your deck.
Yeah.
To get you to pieces you need faster. Althea doesn't.
That's true.
Althea
It's
just
also
bounces what you already have on board back to your hand.
It's a 2-cost backup versus a 3-cost backup.
Yeah.
Which,
Exactly.
like, Althea is technically a 2-cost backup because she restands one, but the opportunity cost of having to pay more CP to play her in the first place
It's
is
at a
big difference.
It's that immediate value gain from that.
Oh,
compared
yeah.
to Althea.
And the other thing, too, with Althea is you have to wait.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you guys the amount of times I was playing 3-color Storm when Hecatoncheir is still kind of floating around, and you kind of have to like squeeze yourself for like that whole turn to hope that they don't break your Althea or like Dull Freezer, and then it's like, cool, I have to sit on my hands and actually be able to do Althea's thing.
Yep.
But I really wanted to kind of touch base on like the ramifications of Mione, because everyone's going to talk about Stern and Doga like all day long.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
But the thing that's going to be like actively kind of, it's really looked at but not like thought about
Is Mione.
is Mione's impact.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. Absolutely.
All right, so I just want to throw this out there because we were talking about the watch,
watch
list a bit.
list.
I agree for Soldier being on the watch list, but that's not my thing. I just think Fat Chocobo's a joke. Only because of the simple fact of, with Doga being spiked out of the meta, any other deck that doesn't need to worry about like a single target kill or anything, that board wipes just fucking annihilates
Well,
Fat
so
Chocobo.
One
you
second.
first.
So, I agree with Fat Chocobo shouldn't be on the watch list, especially since Mione got banned.
Yeah, like I know why it's on there currently. I just think this format it's gonna fall off.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to.
I don't know if it's gonna necessarily fall off. I think it might
It's
be
a
more,
legacy aggro deck. It's
Yeah.
always going to be there.
Chocobos is always gonna be. There.
It's just like an off meta pick
Yeah.
at that point, and it's still a good pick to have.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the best you get is the draw 5 aspect, but you're only netting what is a 4 CP, so you're netting
2 cards.
yeah. You're
If
netting
you hit all
four cards,
5.
so you get
Right,
4 cards
but
back.
the math's like the math's been solved. I say this with very heavy air quotes. Usually it's around 30 chocobos, right? So that way you can hit that consistent number of having an advantage while also still having deck space that's just not chocobos,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the reason I think that Fat Chocobo's on the watch list is that when you have a card that says draw 3 to 5 cards in your deck, especially with something like Bismarck, and you're able to do that every single turn, that's concerning.
Yeah.
Because even if you do manage to wipe the board at that point, they still have 5 cards in their hand. Or even worse is that when you go to try to wipe their board and then they use Chocobo Knight to play it for free on your turn, and they're starting with 11 cards in their hand. That's the problem. And that's why I think they have it on the watch list, because if we haven't learned the mistake from Doga, then why repeat the same mistake with Chocobos?
So
I just think there's too many ways to deal with the Chocobo board potentially. I mean, people have to play the cards, obviously.
Right.
I just think there's a lot of like generic ways to deal with it, especially for like.
Well, with Stern being gone, Chocobos, like their main
gonna-
out to
Yep.
damage-based removal is that's what kind of
it's
knocked
their
them
party
back
attacks.
down.
Their party attacks is the only thing that really gets them through 90% of the time.
And even in response to that, you can still Amaterasu it, or even when they go to combat, that's when you sweep.
So I think the one redeeming reason, or what I would like to think is their mindset when putting this card on the watch list, is that it limits all future design space. And I think
Chocobos, absolutely.
that's why it should be on the watch list, because they literally cannot design Chocobos that are above power level or above par, because they will just become the most abusable shit because they have a on-demand +5.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's why it should
really
be on
like
the watch
that.
list. Yeah.
Because and you really bring a good point, because all things considered, Chocobos by themselves suck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Your best Chocobo is a 7k that if it attacks in a party, it doesn't receive damage. Ooh.
Yeah.
Here comes the boogeyman.
He's a
so scary.
But I can tell you from experience, having played against Chocobo list with Stern in it, if any of you guys are familiar with the movie Aliens, when they go down into Colony 426 and next thing you know, they're just surrounded by xenomorphs. They're out of the walls. They're coming out of the vents. I don't know what's going on. I'm on damage 6 on turn 4.
Yeah, no.
They're looking at me with their beady little eyes.
Stern was definitely a hit to Chocobos as well.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I'm real sad that Sildra's on the watch list. I get it. Sildra's
It's
on the watch
free.
list.
It has to
The
be.
card
has
is
to be.
literally free.
It's a free hand fix that also, again, limits design space.
Card is
because they're not allowed to
demonic
make
tutor on
anything super
steroids.
fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's not like they're already limiting design space with water anyways, because like they've been doing that forever. But they definitely can't do anything with Sildra existing. So sooner or later, somebody's just gonna make a deck that plays water that's just gonna be like, hey,
or
look
category 5. You got to think about that also.
Look how abusable this Sildra is now, and then they're gonna be like, yeah, get rid of Sildra, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
cry inside because like I like Sildra.
Honestly, I wish they would put more stuff on the watch list that limits design space very heavily, especially stuff like the 4CP Phoenix. Although that card doesn't see much play right now, it does single-handedly say, if we print broken 2-drops that are very easily resable, hey, this card exists.
Rydia might have a answer for you for that. The new Rydia that came out. So with her growth counters at 4, you can free cast that Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my god,
and-
it's so gross.
So it's one of those that, yeah, I do agree with you on the idea of like design space and 2-drops.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
That's one of my biggest, because I'm sure I mentioned this just a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Ursula and Lina, being able to, at least Lina, being able to res a 2-drop water, or a 2-drop in general. Is it 3 or less? Or is it
2 or
2 or less?
Two or-
Yeah, like
two or less.
that limits the design space on 2-drops in general already.
2-drop water forwards.
I mean, did you fucking see what happened when they brought Sophie into the game and
Yeah.
how good Lina got? Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And now we have the new Lina that hits 3-drops and 2-drops.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
As long as you have crystals.
Yep.
Okay. How many crystals do we need?
You need 1 for the 2-drop and then 2 for the 3-drop.
Okay,
Yep.
easy.
Yeah.
At least getting 1 in a game isn't terrible. 2 in a game isn't terrible.
If you're playing Wind Water, you get to play the Rem that just breaks itself to ready a thing.
Yeah,
And
So-
make a crystal.
Yeah.
which is easy.
Yeah.
Moving on. I think we covered the ban list pretty well.
Oh,
It's a
absolutely.
lot more in depth than me and James, and I was hoping for this topic just for the simple fact that we have more opinions to output, which is always beneficial. So Xanarkin Open. Do you want to discuss that?
Yo, so the top 8 list for Xander can open immediately after they took into effect this ban list.
Is it
you
on
had,
here?
Yeah, it should be posted now. You had
there
Icewind
it is.
Storm.
Return
you
to
had I myself predicted Sky Pirates to kind of enter the void
that be this
after
KP
the
one?
removal of Doga.
Okay, really quick
Yup.
question. Did this tournament?
Yeah.
Did they play with the ban list? This
Yes,
limited
it
list?
was
Okay.
effective the second the ban list came out, because this happened just yesterday.
Okay.
And they saw the ban list posted just
40
yesterday also. And what ended up happening is they said, you know what, we're going to play effectively with the ban list. If we catch you with one of the banned cards, that's an automatic game loss. If you do not fix it, you're out of the tournament. And then they also had the issue of, if you do not have the image packs up to Opus 15, it's an automatic game loss. If you do not fix that before your next match, you are removed from the match, which makes sense. We're in an online tournament. Be classy, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 3 Sky Pirate decks. There's a Mono Fire list. There's a Monk list. Wind Lightning. Whenever you see Wind Lightning in a tournament, you already can have an idea there's some level of experimentation.
Yeah.
Because-
Which is good.
Yeah.
We love to
just
see that.
Dragoons.
Yeah, it's Wind Lightning Dragoons.
It's just Dragoons.
It's Wind Lightning Dragoons.
Yeah, with that new cane. Oh, that
Yeah,
new cane's
it's
so
Oh,
sick.
like
fuck.
Wind Lightning Dragoons is spicy. Like, actually seeing that was actually impressive. And all he cares about, as long as you hold on to a crystal, that's all he cares about.
You don't even have to spend it.
No.
You could just hold it.
No, you
Well,
just
the,
hold
the issue is there's no way to get rid of crystals.
Yeah.
So the second they get one, they're like, "Oh, cool, Kane's
Yeah,
mine
so
forever."
as far like right now, the way I'm seeing crystals is like they're like planeswalker emblems in Magic, where there's just nothing that touches that area. Which
That's funny.
that could become a problem.
As long as they don't go the route of energy like Magic the Gathering did, but there's no interaction with it. When it's a
Yeah.
parasitic mechanic.
Somebody made an avalanche deck.
Oh, yeah, no. Operatives is one of the most popular decks right now.
Dude, Avalanche.
Guess who wants to make an operatives deck?
You.
James.
Oh,
No,
James.
not me. I'm fucking working on Turks hardcore every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
I'll get there. Don't
because
worry.
the thing with
I'll say Turks.
Yep, because the Operatives, the big thing for him right now is Noctis really pushes the deck forward, because it's based off the idea of that when you party attack with bigs, you draw a card. The people in that party can't be broken. On top of the fact that Noctis allows you to proc an 8K, or Dole freeze a character, or draw a card, or he gains haste, or he breaks a monster.
They were playing Noctis in this one, but I do agree with you.
Because the idea behind it is that when you use Wedge to make the forwards in your party unbreakable and you draw a card off of that, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, you might be able to get away with Wedge breaking a 4-cost character every so often, but
Just two avalanche to do it too.
yeah, but the heavy lifters in that deck is Biggs.
Yeah.
Like he is the one that carries that entire archetype. And when you play the 2-cost Jesse as your backup, he's a 1-drop. And then the other one is a 1-drop. And then the Barrett also comes a 1-drop. So going mono earth with it is a potential build, but people went for fire because of the Earth Fire Barrett. Because when you get to the mid game, oh, you drew backups? Cool. That's an Avalanche Operative, actually. And on your turn, that's an Avalanche Operative, actually.
Yep.
And you continue to churn out forwards, and they all have haste now. Like, this is going the way that I would have liked Scions to actually go, is to actually have some kind of mid to late game plan that doesn't suck.
True. Yeah.
Because the big struggle bus for Scions right now is, like, trying to find the backup.
Yeah.
In addition to actually being able to have a game plan that isn't just, I'm going to rush you down until, like, turn 6 where I peter out and die.
Yeah. Also, Barrett being a pitch outlet for all of your extra redundant names
and it's
is
free. It's
extremely
Discard a
important.
card. Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh, it's amazing.
What's the winning deck? Is this the winning
It
deck?
was Icewind Storm.
Oh yeah.
And that was predominantly because Sky Pirate struggles against Barrel Eye. It has no interaction against Barrel Eye except for Kuchulain.
What a cool card.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
fucking
when
love that
they
card.
try to Kuchulain Barrel Eye, that's when you just do all,
Yep.
that's when you do all your
Use
activations.
Celeste in the lock. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh,
we
yo.
talked about this.
Yo, so you guys want to hear a little bit off topic, but hear me out. You guys want to hear the super spicy 2 backup list with Celeste?
Oh,
All right,
Yes.
so here's what happens,
Yes.
all right? So you Celeste to go find Lock, and you play Lock, declare backup to find your
And then
second
find
backup.
your second backup.
And it's a mono ice aggro deck.
That's sick.
And you play the 3-cost Emmett starter Selch along with her to go find Lock, so that way you can find your other backup, and then your deck's off to the races. It's super spicy.
That's funny as fuck.
And
My God.
But that's what ban lists always have historically shown to do, is people get creative again.
Yes.
Because when certain cards get adjusted or removed from a format, people naturally want to experiment.
Yeah.
No.
And that's what I've always loved about this game, is the ability to experiment. And that's what I love about Magic. It's
Hey.
the creativity.
Guess what's almost in the works now. It's gonna take some time, but Warriors is almost getting there now.
Yeah, because we have
Only because a guy.
and you know what makes me really sad is I was so excited to see Leon with Stern, and then they banned Stern.
Yeah.
Because being able to draw 6 cards would have been
Would
great.
have been nuts.
But that's the thing, though, is that mono water's still viable. We still have access, especially with Atomos. Atomos now in the aggro format slowing down, he's gonna be a very effective card.
Yeah.
And so another one that's being tinkered around with is Robo Ackle. He's the one that says you pay a crystal and you break a monster or a forward. In addition, you get to choose a backup from your break zone, and it goes to your hand. Someone's actually working on an infinite Aegis list with the Ovelia. So basically, you get a free Ovelia Aegis every turn as long as they don't remove your break zone, because he lets you pick a backup to your hand. So every
Oh.
forward you play at that point has haste, and if it dies, it comes back. So if they try to kill him, you Aegis him, and you spend another crystal, and you break a dude.
That's funny.
Oh, it's the best.
I like that. Man, I love this game so much.
I mean, I'm
Holy
just
shit.
gonna blend this in while we're already on the topic.
Oh, go
Anyways, the crystal mechanic. Obviously, there's not like any fast, quick way to generate crystals. So I think when you do generate them, they probably change the game just enough for you. But what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I talked about it a little bit already, but as long as it doesn't become, like Zeth said, a parasitic mechanic that you can't interact with at all, there's no player interaction, it'll be fine. I don't think it's anything broken.
Yeah,
Look,
not
you're
yet.
about to fall asleep again.
I'm fine.
Continuing.
I agree. I basically agree with you. Like, I don't think
As
it's
long as
like
it's not.
it's not super great right now, but it's a cool
'Cause
mechanic.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be able to. I mean, they probably won't. It'd be a smart choice not to use the crystals as any form of payment to play cards.
Well, because the thing with crystals,
Maybe making a card cost 1 or 2 less depending on the specific card. That's about it.
the way I see it is that crystals right now are a slow trip mechanic, right? It's the idea of having an incremental advantage when you get to mid game, like cards like Kefka, right?
Yeah.
You pay 3 crystals at any point, you get to separate into piles, right? As long as it doesn't get to a point where there's a card that just it's like the Dark Ritual that gives you like 3 crystals, and then at the end of the turn you lose them. When we start seeing cards like that is when it starts becoming a problem.
Yeah, that would be brutal.
Because essentially you're giving me access to a resource like just like Stern and Moschery that is outside of the game's standard resource pile.
Yup. Not good.
Yeah.
And when you're able to just generate 3 crystals out of nowhere and then like use Kefka, I'm using Kefka as an example. here 'cause-
Kefka's cool card.
Yeah, because he's my favorite crystal card.
Yeah.
Because when you generate a new resource in a game and there's no way to interact with that resource, then everyone's going to float toward that resource.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to interact with it. In a competitive scene, when something can't be interacted with, people are going to play it.
Yeah.
Really quick, how many people were at the tournament?
40.
All right, 40 people.
It said that there were 40 participants.
Okay, and you said it was online, right?
Yeah, this is an online event. And like they were trying to shoot for like 64, but people had to drop because it was like at the beginning of the month and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Octagon has always been as like a struggle bus in terms of like online outlets and stuff like that. But when the choice is between that and Untapped.in,
Oh, you definitely use Octagon. Untap can't fucking handle that shit.
no,
No offense to them, but like.
no. Or it's either that, or it's also tabletop, or it's tabletop sim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My only issue with tabletop sim is that not everyone has $25 floating around
Yeah.
to go pay for tabletop sim, and then having an appropriate rig to actually run it. I'd rather just run it through a browser-based program.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's
It's
like
cool
the only
unless you-
issue with tabletop that I have as well is like I already have it, but like for people that don't, if you don't have the money to go out and buy it,
Sucks.
it sucks. It really does suck because it is definitely by far the best like sim out there. Obviously, it's
I love
tabletop
fucking
simulator.
That reminds me. I did want to. Can you like chill the fuck out, phone? Jesus Christ.
Come on.
It's not even like getting. It's just it doesn't want to connect. Kefka. So, what is divide all the forwards the opponent controls into 3 groups? You can make a group of 0 forwards. Your opponent selects 1 group among them, put all forwards. So can't you just go 0-0 and then a group of like 1 big dude or like a few dudes?
Statistically speaking, you do not want to do that. So let's say I have 4 forwards, right? Here's your piles, Noah. It goes 1-1-2, right? So what it comes down to is either you get to keep a forward or you keep 2 forwards. Now, my fun trick I want to do is I want to have Gogo and Kefka because that's an action ability.
So why wouldn't just to make sure because I'm a big dum dum. Why not just 1-1-1?
Because you have 4 forwards. You have to make them into 3 piles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you have 3 forwards, sure, you're able to do that.
Yeah.
But like the math's been done on Kefka. Like optimally, you want to play him when there's like 3 or 4 forwards, because then you go 2-1-1. So when they choose like their 1 forward, they lose 3 forwards, or they choose 2 like subpar forwards and then they lose 2 forwards. But then with Gogo, I can go 1-1-0, and at that point, it's you choose your best forward out of the 4 and you wipe them all out. And I only spent crystals for this.
Wait, what's Gogo's effect?
All right, so Gogo. Oh my
Here,
fucking
I got you.
god!
I got you.
All
You
right,
fucking love
Gogo is
He's
the
so
best.
sick.
So he's an ice forward, right? Category
Okay.
6, 3 cost. So his ability says, on your side of the field, the next time you have an action ability of a forward or a monster trigger, he triggers it without paying the cost.
Yeah, when a forward or monster you control, when a forward or monster you control uses an action ability, Gogo uses the same action ability without paying the cost. This effect triggers only once per turn.
So
Because he's a mimic.
yeah,
That's
so
at least in mine.
Kefka's board wipe ability, that's an action ability.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if it has a colon and a cost, that's an action ability. So remember Luminous Puma? What if
Yeah.
I told you you get 2 forwards or backups to your hand?
Yep.
What if I told you you could use Stole at someone twice? What if I told you that you could have a forward do 5k twice?
What if I
And-
told you could use Garland twice?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
like
yeah,
subpar,
that's his-
but
that's
kind of memey.
that-
Get
that's-
rid of these backups.
That's his special. Also, is that his special is that you could choose any character on board that has used their specialist turn, copy it. So when your opponent goes to
Without
jet,
paying cost.
yeah. So when your opponent goes to jet block, you go, no, I jet block instead.
That's hilarious.
No, you.
No, Go-Go is sick.
And it's not like there's not enough go-go cards flying around that you could just.
There's ones in water.
For Kefka, is it the cost?
Three crystals,
Three
yeah.
crystals. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the whole cost.
Yeah,
for
after
that?
you pay the
Okay.
3 crystals, you're able to use his ability again, without paying cost, because Go-Go says so.
Yes.
Wow.
Which some of
And
these go-go's
then
are okay.
what's so amazing about Go-Go is like the ceiling is infinite.
Yeah.
As long as there's
so
good,
much
as long
cool
as there,
shit.
as long as there's good action abilities, Goku's good.
Yeah.
And he does it off of monsters too. So like you can also like with the new monsters that came out in this set.
Land that bitch for 2 cards for
Yeah,
one.
you just know there's a mono ice deck that's floating around right now. The whole point is you get Go-Go out with Flance and Lancer units, and you make them discard 2 cards every turn. It is bad, and it is hilarious. It's been banned at locals.
I mean,
But-
fair enough.
No,
What are you gonna
and-
do?
And what's even better is that you can even have just be careful to not shoot yourself in the foot with like the new forwards that you make them forwards. The monsters that just came out that
Yeah.
can make themselves forwards and they break themselves at end of turn. He does copy that. It is a forced
breaks,
ability,
yeah. Yeah.
so he will shoot himself in the foot because he's funny like that.
Man, wait. Isn't he like sick with Buckaboo, right?
That's an auto, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
he
sorry
does
for
not
the
work
loss.
with autos,
Yeah.
but he works with Lancer unit and he works with Flan.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep. Another fun tech that people
Shadow Flare.
yeah, no, he can copy Shadow Flare too.
That's
it's
funny.
the best.
It's,
That's so funny.
yeah, no, the ceiling for this fucking card's insane.
The other thing too is that someone else has been goofing around is so Lady Lilith, the one that says remove a forward from the
Yeah.
game, get a crystal. So what people found out is they go, hey, those monsters that die at the end of the turn, we'll just chuck them in the roof and game pile. We don't need them anymore.
That's funny.
They did their job.
Yeah, that's a cool interaction.
Have
Like,
we,
yeah, we're gonna be
it's-
talking about Opus 15.
yeah, I'm more so saying her cost is your forward, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Like, I figured it was
She
just a
only
wording
eats
error.
your forwards.
Yeah, I figured it was a wording error, but
Yeah,
I want to make
'cause-
sure because Travis was over here
Yeah.
like, I hope it's not. We all hope it's not. Like,
Yeah.
you have to think the worst case
Because
scenario.
when it comes to when it refers to forwards in that fashion in FF, it mainly is referring to your forwards only, unless it states otherwise on the card.
Just like certain games that say when you discard cards, it's usually from hand, not like top of deck or bullshit like that.
No. But so overall for 15, at least for me, there's so many cool cards.
I love 15.
Like even the light and dark cards are actually super
Sick.
cool.
Arden's gonna give me a hard on with that mill 20. I swear to God, I'm gonna bait somebody for
No,
it.
you know what's great is that if you still play the infinite deck list, where like you just put all your deck in your hand and then you play Arden and then you
Oh,
just
God.
slam him
Ah,
out
no
on the
choice.
board.
They're dead. That's game. Good job, buddy.
Jeez.
They just lose like
Well, so my game plan was 6 cards in hand, get them like damage 6 or damage 5, whichever, and then just play Arden and pitch 6. They have 7 choices. Sooner or later, that mill 20 is gonna hit, or the damage is gonna hit, and you just kind of giggle because like they blow up their board, or they mill themselves
Now-
out, or they die.
Hey
What are they gonna
Travis,
do?
imagine if at some point FF we got a mind
Disconnect
slaver
your
effect,
phone.
I need to charge.
and then you
Charge it somewhere else.
play Arden and you make them choose the damage.
God.
That would be the best.
Oh, that would be the funniest shit. Oh, man.
But the ace is super cool. I don't know what his
Uh,
applications are gonna be yet.
That's my issue is I can't figure that out.
it's so weird because he's like a hyper overbalanced
Like the cool
Yawgmoth
thing, the
will.
cool
Yeah.
thing about this ace is the ability to play your shit for break. But like, I don't want to pitch my hand immediately after playing him.
That's why you rot to him, baby.
Fuck.
It's just he's okay. So he's bad because of the fact that you have to pitch your hand and then you have to wait a turn to start casting.
All right.
And you only
stuff.
get 2 cards to cast, which
Well,
actually
no.
feels kinda
Here's what's
bad.
great is that he hard counters Sid Randall because you play him and you get to keep your hand.
Oh my god.
because his auto doesn't trigger.
That's gross.
Oh, he played Sid Randall? Nice! Nox Suzaku, though, I like how balanced he is because you got to have something die first.
That card's
But
sick.
it's not like that's hard though.
Right, because
Like an
you,
ACG
you,
Kefka
you
just
just play...
goes-
No, you just play
No.
Vivi.
Yeah, like
I'm begging you.
leave me alone. I'm not even touching it now. It should just be
No,
fine.
but hear me
Next
out.
time it does it, I'll
So
unplug
hear me
it.
out. Nox Suzaku with the 5-cost water Golbez. Let's just play 2 forwards every turn at
Yeah.
the end phase
Yep.
because we can.
All right, you win.
That card, actually, that card also seems kind of sick with King Moogle
Oh yeah, because you get
Yeah,
to look
it's-
for
yeah,
Moogles.
you go 3 and
get
then you
to
go
back
3
up,
again.
You go 3 again.
Yep.
Oh, that's sick. I love it.
Yep. God.
And then it all goes to break, so you still have it for resources.
This
Yep.
Arden's giving me a major boner, and I still want to build a
Dude,
mill deck.
he's
God,
he-
somebody
oh,
kill me.
so
don't let me do. Somebody don't let me make a mill Paul under fire. I'll do it.
no, so
no,
do it.
don't do
so
it.
Noah, the fattest dab I wanted to pull off with Arden is so you have Guts Go with like 5+ cards. So what you do is you get Guts Go to somehow die before Arden pops off. You get the Guts Go cards to your hand for Arden.
The easiest yet memeiest way I can think of to fuel Arden, if you really want to try it, is you could play Chocobos and
Arden
you
underwater. Naturally draw cards and play Arden.
Well, yeah,
Fuck it.
no. But we're talking like if you want to meme with Arden.
Oh wait, actually, hold on. That's do your thing, and
you-
then I want to go through
You
this.
play Chocobos with Arc, flood your board. I'll play this Arc. I'll draw 12 cards. Okay, here comes the Arden.
Yeet. That's so stupid.
See, that's how you do it. I think underwater you just fucking play shit that says to just draw.
I mean,
your entire deck is just draw. If you have a search for this Arden, you play Chaos. You bring Arden out, and then you're good. If they can't stop Arden, that's game. I'm gonna ditch like 12 cards in my hand. Either blow up your board, eat this damage, or mill your deck and essentially just let me sit here and coast.
Yeah, you just if you really want to play Arden, you literally just play water because you get to play like Zidane and just, oh, I had 5 cards in hand, I drew up to 7, I'll hit you, draw up to 9, I'll tap 3 backups, pitch a card, play this Arden you for 7, which is basically 8 because he gets 1 proc regardless of
Yeah.
how many cards you have in hand.
I actually, Loki, I think Arden might become a problem depending, only because Arden, like, sure your opponent chooses, but like, you have so many cards in hand. What are they gonna do?
Well, it's an auto.
Yeah,
No, it's an auto.
unfortunate.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
yeah.
if that Chocobo Go-Go would be hilarious.
No,
draw
no,
6.
but the thing I've been trying to get Go-Go to work with is Rydia. You just cast 2 4-cost summons in a hand for free,
That's funny. Oh man.
and then just play like an ice and just
Oh
Yeah.
shit, Travis, Vanille Go-Go.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Four Soul Song Vanille
It rests 2
Go-Go.
forwards.
Actually, seems nutty
No,
as shit.
so there was a meme that wanted to play. It was not Naja Salim, the one that doubles counters.
Yeah, the proliferator.
Yeah. So people were gonna like meme material her with like Rydia. So they go in and they bop ya, and then she goes to like 8 counters.
Jeez.
And you free play like Phoenix or some shit.
Like, actually, dead ass though. I'm thinking about it.
That sounds.
Vanille Go-Go sounds fucking hilarious. You know what I'm gonna do? All I gotta do is just make room for Go-Go and Emperor Sid. What are they gonna do? They can't stop me.
Yeah.
The Legends Vincent from Opus 2 is special. Break as many forwards that equal up to 7 to do it twice.
Yep.
Oh.
No, but no, hear me out, guys. Hear me out. So I want to somehow fit Go-Go into Sky Pirates, and here's why. Think about how many action abilities Sky Pirates have.
A lot.
So Balthier says tap 2 Sky Pirates, give something haste. Pinello's 1 CP, draw 2 cards now, fellas. Or a forward gets -6.
Or kites. Kites is kites.
Kites
an
is
auto?
in action.
Oh, he's in action. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you can flick
works
Vaughn
on-
twice.
You know
Yep.
how cool Sky Pirates just sounds because of his action abilities, and you don't just sit there and watch your opponent fucking jerk off?
Yeah.
Because you can interact with that,
Yeah.
unlike autos sometimes.
Yeah.
I love it.
But so overall with
Dude,
15,
shit.
what do you guys think? It sounds like it's pretty enjoyable.
9. 9 out of 10.
9.
Easiest
Your boy-
9 out of 10
Your
of
boy's
my
got
life.
memes coming up now, and it's gonna be great.
Oh, it's this set's gonna be
I already
so
built
spicy.
Emperor Sid. Now we just need to fit Go-Go in it, and it's gonna be all funny as fucking shit with this Vanille.
Iron?
I don't really have like a necessarily opinion on it yet because I haven't like actually looked at much of the cards. Like the only stuff I've really looked at is whatever you guys are just telling me right now.
Oh, absolutely.
So like I don't know. I
I'll
think
sit you down. Don't worry.
Yep. So
we're down.
my
That-
consent. Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I was just saying that to him.
So my overall consensus on it: Crystal Mechanics a good idea, especially if they keep it in the slow trip category. I really enjoy that they revisited Category 6.
Yeah.
Again, like and
Yeah,
actually like
6.
did a good run through this time.
What I think they need to do now is just give 6 fire cards that like can help. Like if you want to play.
I mean, we got Vargas.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't think we have anything personally. I guess we have General Leo too.
I do have one thought.
What's that?
I do
Oh
like
fuck! Wait,
the
we
new
do have General
mechanic.
Leo. That's actually really good.
I do like the new mechanic of crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So we recently just got when did they introduce dual colors?
That was Opus
Dual
12.
elements. Okay, so it's
three
been 3
of that.
sets.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want them to do it as often, introducing like a new thing, new
Every 3
mechanic.
sets.
Yeah, because like I don't know, then it just becomes a little bit too
How gimmicky
complicated.
Can we make it? It's like
Yeah.
a weird Dragon Ball situation.
Yeah, exactly.
That or it's like Yu-Gi-Oh. There's so many different mechanics that it's so hard to get into after a certain amount of points.
Yep.
'Cause-
Yes.
So like that's the only thing that I will say that I don't necessarily want them to keep doing it every like 3 sets or so. Like
Mhm.
wait a little bit longer because like I think introducing dual element cards after 12 sets, perfect.
So
Yeah.
the thing I think would be really neat if they actually went back and visited is highly incentivizing monocolored decks, right? They
Yeah.
touched on the idea a bit with Kefka back in the last set for building only mono ice, but if we went back to like having heavy incentives for actually visiting monocolors again, I think that'd be a cool mechanic.
But I mean that's the thing now though I think because I mean chocobos all win all
Well, they're all chocobos. They
that
just happen to all
and
be
they're
wind.
wind. But I mean like that's the thing though like wind is a good deck.
Yeah.
It's a strong deck. Mono fire is a strong deck.
Oh, absolutely.
Modifire's been strong since
Yeah.
Opus 8.
Since
Right,
Opus 8,
exactly.
yeah,
So like I'm
yeah.
saying like there's still these mono colors that are actually strong just on their own right now.
Yeah, but I
So-
think the
So-
issue is the current monocolor decks that we use the most are all the same.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you can have slight variations with monofire,
Yeah.
but it all plays the same. It's not like you get a different play style out of playing this monocolor deck. You get the
Yeah.
same play style.
Yeah, like Kefka encapsulates the perfect example of what other cards I'd like in like other elements, right? Like I'd like a fire card that like if I had like only 5 mono fire backups, it does like 15k to everything on my opponent's side of the board. Or like I get all this incentive if it's all wind backups, like stuff like that, right? Also, by the way, the fact that they've revisited Headhunters was a pleasant surprise. And
Yeah.
the Headhunters
We're getting
don't
there.
suck.
We're getting there.
They don't suck, and that's great. That's fantastic.
I'm a man that likes to play really fucking out there archetypes and telling you, man,
Headhunters.
Warriors is so close.
By the way, we actually have a searcher for Lonnie now that's not category 9 that says search for a job headhunter. Lonnie is a headhunter.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
So I love niche applications like that. That's why I love mannequins so much.
Mannequin's so fun to watch. I'm very excited to put together. So I have in-person, and then I wanted to put together dancers because it looks like dancers actually has a thing. The issue, or not the issue, the coolest thing I found with dancers is that if it all works the way it should, and it shouldn't be that hard, you just board wipe every fucking turn.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. It's like, play your shit and try, or don't play your shit and I'll just punch your face in.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like it's going to like turn out for the first like few like the first month or so of like dancers being a thing. I
It's
just
like
think
getting
hilarious.
100% on Guitar Hero.
Yeah, like it's I think it's hilarious. You have a dancer that's like, oh, I'm tapped, 2K your board. And you just have like shitty dancers that are like, tap them for 1K, tap for 1K. And it's just like, what do you do?
So, man, go with dancers seems
You
really
see what I'm
sick.
saying?
Really sick, actually. Especially with the tap 4 dancer, you're just like
And 8K all
yeah,
actives.
Yeah, I'll
like,
tap
what the
4, 16K all actives.
your
Let's
board.
go.
You remember how the Rude Sandstorm makes you fucking pay like 7 plus a Rude, so 9 to do that? And now you're just like,
Tap them. Just tap them. Turn them sideways.
like what do you do to that? The only thing, like sure, there's interactions for it, but it's not like the deck's not gonna play ways that deal with the interaction to some
Right.
degree.
Yeah.
So to close out for today, what is one meme deck you guys are going to see about trying in Crystal Dominion?
Travis, if
give
you
me
don't
a
fucking-
meme.
If you don't fucking Kefka Regis Vanilla Go-Go, I swear to God, I'm
So I don't really know yet. I have what I want to be my competitive deck, which is going to be Mind Flayer Loop. So I think Mind Flayer with Lonnie and just like milling your opponent out.
Oh, yeah, so Mind Flayer mill?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
is going to be very easy because like you have
mill decks.
you have the 3 CP Rydia, the Earth one, the backup that searches any summon, and you can just search your Mind Flayer off of that. You have like Tyro and stuff to search Lonnie, and you just have all these interactions that like
And
get you stuff
Gyuk,
back.
don't forget Gyuk now.
Yep.
He searches Job Headhunter.
Yep, and you have the 4 CP Phoenix that reses your your Cryals that
Your
can-
Porums.
yeah, your Porums, your Cryals that let you replay summons, remove stuff from your opponent's break zone.
And you have Mashri.
Yep. And you get to play
my
Mashri
God.
because that card's super strong. So you just with Yuna and Mashri, your Mind Flayers cost 2. So
Nope. Don't forget Yuna.
yeah. Well, yeah, no, that's why I said Yuna
Okay.
and Mashri.
Makes it 2.
Yep.
Byron?
I don't think I'm necessarily gonna like play any meme decks. It's like I just like playing competitive decks. So I don't know. I mean, what Operative Avalanche got stuff from.
Oh, yeah, no.
No,
Like,
Avalanche
it is
Operatives so
a
good.
very popular
Yeah,
deck.
so like that, and then Sky Prides, they like that. Support,
Oh, yeah,
right?
no, they're up there.
So like that, those are 2 decks that I'm kind of interested in trying. They're not obviously
absolutely.
memes, but competitive decks.
Noah, yours, and then I'll give mine.
Fucking, I've basically 2. I'm playing Dancers. I think Dancers is memey as shit. That potential board wipe every turn is fucking hilarious. And then I'm definitely just gonna build Water Draws mini card, slap hard and down, laugh.
I like it. All right,
Like,
so
like what are you gonna do?
all right, so gentlemen, we're gonna delve deep inside the dank cave.
Fuck.
Okay, let's go.
So I saw Rydia, right? And I saw her ability, and my palms started getting sweaty. I started perspiring from my forebrow. And then I realized that she's in the earth element, right? And then I saw Porum and Palom, all right? And I get to play it all together because they're all category 4, right? Fantastic. They're all getting their counters, right? But then I remember Opus 2. I see his face, the white mane, the slanted eyes. He has that deep, deep look in his eyes. And then I get to say that everything becomes Job Apprentice Mage. I plan on playing Mono Hashmal. Because you got to realize that she's a summoner. By playing Hashmal, all of them are summoners. I can now discard Broska for 10k.
oh my god.
And then I can Kusith it to my hand and do it again.
Do it again. Want to see me do it again?
That's so funny.
And then it gets even better because depending on how you go about that deck is that when you do it with the Apprentice Mages, you'll have Rydia here with her growth counters and then just these random Apprentice Mage counters that don't mean shit.
Yep.
But Porum and Palom will be at 3 counters. So that means you can 8k something and make something on 1k with no abilities. And it's all action abilities, so we're still going to fit Go-Go in there somehow.
Yep.
Fucking Go-Go's gonna be
They're
the
also
most
all
fucking
2-drops, right? So
Yup.
you can res them all with Phoenix.
Phoenix, which is a category 4 card
low-key,
also.
I think it was a slight smart idea to make Go-Go an ice card, just to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
no,
he isn't any
absolutely.
other element, he'd
Like,
be broken.
Yeah, I think ice is the most awkward element currently to put him in to like make people try to fit it in. But like, God fucking damn, if he's in any
But-
other element, he
but
just
the whole point of Mono Hashmal is to, in 50 cards, how can I get away with all the jobs possible?
That's just hilarious. God, I love that.
fucking great.
All right, fellas. Ready to sign off for the night?
Oh,
Wrap it up.
absolutely. This was a fantastic podcast, and I hope everyone enjoyed.
I did, obviously. I always enjoy it.
Yep.
Now, keys.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Just for James, stay alert, guys.
Yep.